It's been way too hot. I had to ice out the neck.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Texas Sports World. I'm your host, Ethan, and this is our elite ball knower, our resident ball knower, my boy Isaac. And he has a lot to get off his chest today. We have a lot to get into. As you can see, the title we're going to talk about the shakeup in the SEC. You had a lot of big games this weekend, and then we're going to eventually move on to the Texans hold on in Jacksonville, but hold on versus Jacksonville. But to get started first, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. If you're listening on Facebook or YouTube, I appreciate y'all for being here. When you get here, there's no one here yet. But, all right, so let's start with the biggest game, the biggest storyline, if you will, of the weekend. First come, first serve. First, we got Alabama versus Georgia for the number
biggest.
one spot in the country.
The biggest.
What a freaking game.
The best.
I want to know, get it all off your chest. You're ranked number one. You had everybody doubting you. You weren't even in the top three, brother. You weren't even in the top three, and now you number one. Let everybody know. Let all these haters on TikTok talking about you don't know ball, Carson Beck throwing 3 picks, but we don't know ball. Let them know what you're feeling right now.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I was going to start that off with first and foremost. I know there's not a lot of people here right now, okay? And that's okay. And I know. Yeah, let's not do that again. Thanks. Had a little interruption. It's all good, though. Let's talk about, first and foremost, this is pretty new here, right? This little situation we got going on.
Yeah, pretty new.
We posted a little TikTok, just trying to get some engagement out there, trying to get a little fan base going, just trying to see what the general consensus was. And I said at the beginning of the year, Carson Beck is mid. I said he might not even be top 5 in the SEC.
And they called us crazy. They called us crazy.
Said we didn't know ball. They was talking crazy about the channel. They were saying stuff like 16 viewers, good reporting from the bedroom. We don't know ball. And I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart,
right here in the depths,
fuck y'all. That's how I feel. Okay.
Listen, this was be family ready, but boy.
Listen, Alabama went out there and they put what I call, what me in my area we call a good old fashioned ass whooping on the Georgia Bulldogs.
What's it called? It's called a what now? Belt to ass.
Little BTA action. Little BTA.
Little boy. Little BTA.
Okay. We hypothetically speaking put the shot collar on them boys. Okay. We put the muzzle thing on them.
Yes, sir.
We got the leash. And we had that thing cinched up, baby. It was tight. We let it go a little bit. Well, we let it go in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. We let it go in the second half a little bit. But listen, because here's another thing I want to say. After that game, first and foremost, first half, not much to talk about. It was a dog walking. Good old fashioned Alabama football. Good old fashioned Alabama football. And I told Ethan, he said, "Are you nervous about this game?" I said, "We're going to win by 2 scores." Now, we didn't, but we were close. And here's what. I've seen a lot of UT fans, a lot of college football fans, a lot of media guys saying Alabama shouldn't be ranked 1 after that game. They almost gave the game up. How are they going to be ranked 1? They almost sold the whole game. And I say, maybe, if that's how you want to look at it. But that's not how I look at it. The way I look at it is this. You don't go up by 30 points and letting up 1 touchdown to a team that hasn't given up a touchdown up to this point in the season. Arguably the best defense, and we threw up just a little quick 30-piece in the first half.
A little 30-piece.
Easy 30-piece. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, they didn't take their foot off the pedal. Georgia's really good at adjusting in the second half, and that's what made it a game. I'm going to give Carson Beck his credit. He was wheeling and dealing in the second half. But it was still a dog walking. At the end of the day, we were up 30-7 going into halftime. I'm sure we could have went out there and put up more points. We started doing trick plays in the third quarter. Okay, you want to say we didn't take the foot off the pedal? Why did we do a double reverse end around just do a screen pass in the third quarter. I mean, what are we talking about? We didn't take our foot off the gas, but we're doing trick plays in the third quarter. All right, fine. Arguably, now let's talk about this. There's so much I want to get into. Okay.
Yeah, let it out, brother. Let it out. Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
First thing. Everybody says, "Oh, well, y'all only beat Georgia by one. Y'all almost let them complete the biggest comeback in the history of whatever." Fine. But you could also argue we would have still won by 2 scores if I forget his name, Dupree, the tight end for Alabama, didn't drop that ball. Because there was a point we were marching down the field in the third quarter. He caught the football, turned, boom, it got hit, it got picked off in the red zone. If we score there, it's a 2-score game.
We ain't even talking about a comeback.
We're not talking about a comeback. It's a 2-score game.
Right.
Okay? So, yeah, we made a little mistake. I'd say it was nobody's fault. I would say it was everybody's fault. The ball could have been placed a little bit better. The tight end could have caught it. A lot of things could have happened. At the end of the day.
It's football. It's football, bro. It's football. Things happen.
At the end of the day, whatever happened, happened. Right. And I told Ethan at the beginning of this week, I said, I think Alabama has a top 5 offense in the nation. And I don't think they're number 5. And he said, no, they don't. Ole Miss got a better offense than you guys do. Okay.
Yep. And I said, and listen, so now let me hop in. So I went to the Texas-Mississippi State game. Okay. So I get there about an hour and 15 minutes before it starts. And I'm walking through Bevo Boulevard. And on this huge TV screen, they got Ole Miss Kentucky on the screen. So I'm watching this Ole Miss Kentucky game. And I'm watching Kentucky. Now can we take a step back? Let's talk about Kentucky first of all. Let's talk about Kentucky. Okay, so Ole Miss, for sure. So do you remember last week or maybe 2 weeks ago we talked about the fact that we didn't have any respect for what Ole Miss was doing because they're playing the school of the deaf and blind. They're playing the school of the deaf and the blind, putting up 70 points or whatnot, 50, 60, 70 points, thinking they're the number one offense, thinking they're a great offense. I was fooled. I'll admit it. I'll be humble.
And you know what? It's okay. And it's okay because it's your first year in the SEC. You don't have to watch Ole Miss do this every year.
You know what? Look, listen, I was going to come on here and I was going to disagree. I agree because you got to remember, I've been out here watching Texas Tech and Kansas State.
He's been in the Pac-12 and boo-boo ass Pac-12.
Big 12, mother. Okay, listen, it was a Big 12.
Oh, Big 12, Big 12. My fault. Yeah, you're right.
So I'm out here I'm watching Baylor and Oklahoma State play games. I listen. I didn't know what it was. I am sorry. I didn't know what I didn't know what it was and what it wasn't.
That's okay. And that's okay though, because you're what we call a naysayer down in Alabama. You're what we call a naysayer down here. I can't say what it really means, but you know what it really is. Okay? I can't say what it really means.
This man said naysayer with a down here. He said naysayer down here with a Texas map in his background. Get the hell out of here.
Okay, listen. It doesn't matter. But you're what we call a naysayer. And so is most of the country. And you know what? Here's another thing. Here's another little tidbit of information that I want to talk about. Everybody's saying, oh, you almost gave up to Georgia. Y'all almost let them come back. And I said, okay, fine. Maybe we almost let them come back. That's impressive. Even if I don't take it away from them, we still win the game. You know why? Because I also told Ethan, at the same time I told him we had the most explosive offense in the nation. I said we might be a top 5 offense in the nation, which I think we are now. I don't think we're top 5. I think we're top 3 and not 2. But just hear me out. These were the same guys. These were the same people that were saying, oh, Alabama's overrated after that game against UCF. Oh, Alabama's overrated. They didn't look at the box score. The way the game played out has to matter, right? But now when it comes to Georgia, putting up 30 in the first half, the way the game plays out doesn't really matter anymore.
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying.
It doesn't matter that they had a good quarter, a good half. We were boat racing. In my book, it was a complete domination.
At halftime, it entered boat race territory. Yeah. Like at halftime, that's boat race territory.
I would argue, even though Georgia ended up taking the lead with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, I would argue I was never worried. I mean, I was a little nervous come that point in time, but I was never worried because I told Ethan, they can't stop us if we want to go down there and score. And I don't think there's a team in the nation that could stop us if we really wanted to score. And I stand by that because you know what happens with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter? Alabama down by 1. Just this little kid named Ryan Williams gets an awful ball thrown to him.
Awful, horrible.
He's doing this number. I'm thinking for surely this defensive back is going to turn his head and pick this football off. In my mind, I'm breaking it down. Go ahead. No, you go ahead because I'll get fired.
I was just going to say. So I scrolled through Twitter today. I saw a video from Josh Pate. And
with this insane 17-year-old.
He was like, and then you have this 17-year-old who gets who gets a bad ball, makes an alien move. This is legal terrorism. He was like, he catches the ball, makes an alien move, splits
and then
a defender,
makes another
alien move. And now all of a sudden he's in the end zone. This man is supposed to be celebrating his senior year in high school. He is 17 years old. He can't even vote, man.
Yeah.
And this man is out here making, and you're playing Georgia. Statistically, I don't know what's about statistically. Maybe Georgia wasn't statistically the number one defense in the country, but it's still Georgia. It's still Kirby Smart. It's still Georgia. It's still the SEC. All those things matter.
I'll tell you a fun little stat. They haven't given up a single touchdown until they played Alabama. That's the stat. They haven't given up one.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
All season, they haven't given up a single touchdown. Even when Alabama, even when Texas, even when these other teams go out and play these FCF teams or these really bad Division I teams.
We were in the SEC. Okay, we played Mississippi State. They're SEC, man.
Okay, fine. But I'm saying.
You're right though. Yeah, I see what you're because Texas did get lucky. Now we're starting now.
Football is a hard sport to play at no matter what level. In college, it's still college football. It's still a high level of football. It's hard to not let a team score. Even if you beat them by 6 touchdowns, it's hard to keep somebody out of the end zone for that long.
Right, because like I always say, power is always power. Zone is zone. Man to man is man to man. You know, the general rules of football are still the general, like you still have to run powers good. You still have to run zone run good. You still have to run your pass concepts good. You still have
even as a bad team in college football, if you can stack enough positive plays together, you're gonna score a touchdown at least.
Right. So that's what makes hold on. That's what, to my opinion, that's what makes the SEC, like I didn't think it would be that big of a deal being a new member of the SEC. I didn't think, because like I watched football and I enjoy good football games. So I watched the SEC was the mark. It was the bar, right? So I always watched football. I love football and I love watching good football games. And a lot of times that's the SEC. But now I'm in it and I see these teams and I have to watch Alabama. I got to watch Georgia. I got to watch Vanderbilt. I got to watch Arkansas. I got to watch A&M, you know. I got to watch these teams, Kentucky, you know. I got to watch Ole Miss. And you really start to see the difference. Like I didn't believe
the gap is marginal. It's big. Right. It's a big gap.
I mean, I was watching, I think it was Arkansas that last week, Arkansas and Auburn, I think it was. Them boys was hitting.
They were smacking. They were smacking.
Remember, I think I was out at lunch or something, and I was watching, and you texted me. You said, "Yo, Auburn, Oklahoma, them boys hitting." And I turned on the game, and immediately I see a replay of a receiver getting his head decapitated.
Yeah,
like, you know, so like, because and the reason I thought that was because in my naivete, you got Texas going to play Georgia in a Sugar Bowl, right? Texas going to play Missouri in a bowl game. And then, so I thought that the styles was I thought the style was a mismatch, but in reality, in the SEC, you got Texas, Ole Miss. Let me think. There's probably more teams that I can't think about, but the spread the ball, option offense, not option in the or screen offense. You know, it's in the SEC now. Mm-hmm. It is, right? So
that used to be the whole thing between Big Ten and SEC. Was Big Ten was very like spread it out, throw the ball.
Well,
air
I
raid
mean,
kind of stuff. And SEC
well,
has
okay, hold
always
on, hold on,
been
hold on, hold on. The Big Ten recently, now in this year, yes, they're trying to change, but you're talking about the Iowas, the Minnesotas, Michigan State. Uh,
thinking about two
they
different
they
Big Ten. I'm thinking about the top tier, the cream of the crop
that's
of the
okay.
Big Ten.
That's different. That's fair. I can see that because the like Ohio State schematically is not a Big Ten team.
Yeah. But
Schematically, right?
even with
But
Stroud,
they
they were out
run
there slinging rock.
when you have 4 first-round receivers
Yeah.
in your receiver room,
Now
what a
Michigan, I think is more their ass, but but they
yeah,
are a run heavy team. Now I feel like
for
they're more
sure.
forced into it now than they were last year with
Well,
JJ
so is
McCarthy.
right.
But they were well balanced last year, I would say.
Yeah, but so is like Michigan, not Michigan, Minnesota. Minnesota is
Mhm.
a run heavy team, right? Iowa for the
Oh,
every
they
year,
run the ball. They
dude.
run the ball. That's the game plan.
Dude, every year. Every year on Twitter we have the conversation of what the is Iowa doing?
Right.
Like this team is running it might as well be a wishbone. It might like so Kirk Ferentz out there running the same offense as he did in 1980.
Yeah. They run
So
the ball. I'll tell you that
yeah,
much.
right. So
You need some
so I
big
see
boys up there.
right. So I see what you're saying about the tiers between because yes, you're right. That like I would even argue Penn State. Like I would even now hold on before I say something dumb. Let me do some let me make sure that I'm saying what I'm saying before I say it and then sound like an idiot.
Well, and the SEC has always been known for big O linemen, big D linemen, and athletic skill players.
Okay, I would even argue that Illinois is slowly creeping their way into that top tier. Maybe now I'm not, now hold on for y'all fucking get on here and lambast me because I don't know what I'm they're
Settle
not
down.
they're not Ohio State, they're not Penn
I'd
State.
say
I would even but I would say they're better than Michigan.
mm,
I
don't
mean,
do that now. Don't do that now because that's y'all's win. That's y'all's win that y'all hang y'all's hat on right now.
no. I don't hang my listen. This Texas team, I would say they're good because they've handled business versus everybody that they needed to handle business against.
Mhm.
So if Michigan is bad, good. We made them look bad. That was the point. Now, if Michigan was bad and we played them 32-26 or like a closer score, and then they went on to continue to be bad, that'd be a problem. But they're it's crazy because Michigan is still in the top 10.
That no, listen. That is a bogus. There's two ways that I look at Michigan still being ranked in the top 10. And if you really look at the top 25 AP polls,
Well,
there's a clear massive step between the
yeah,
top 5 teams and then the back 5 teams.
right, for sure, for sure, for
It's
sure.
like a very wide margin right
Yeah,
there.
right.
And Michigan, albeit I guess being a top 10 team, they've
They haven't
now,
played. I
this is
mean,
what Texas does. This is what Texas does. They
hold
get these
on.
hold on, just listen to me. They get these teams real early in the season before they know their identity. They beat them, and then they sit on it for the rest of the year. That's nothing against Texas. That's nothing against Texas, but Michigan didn't have their identity. They're finding it now.
I
It's
listen.
still
Okay,
not good. It's still not good, but they're finding it. They know that they have to run the ball because they don't have anybody who can throw the rock. And they're leaning on that. And they're leaning on their
right.
defense.
Okay. Two things. One, I would say that it's fair to say Michigan came into the Texas game trying. That's why they started Davis Warren, trying to be balanced. They wanted to have a pass game. They
Yes.
realized after the game, they were like, oh God. And then, because if you remember the game after, they still started Davis Warren. And then he throws 2 or 3 picks, and they're like, okay, yeah, no, this is it. It wasn't just because Texas is a good defense. He literally just doesn't know how to throw the ball to the right team.
Well, neither one of them do. But and
But
they should have just relied on that from that's a coaching issue coming into a
for
game against Texas.
sure,
You have to know there should be no uncertainty at that point. Now, Nick Saban struggled with that,
for sure.
albeit Texas was a
Now,
new team at that point.
right. Okay. Now the second thing. If so Texas went into Mississippi State, their first SEC game, and had a C+ game at the best, and still won by 21. Okay, and their backup quarterback throws for 300 and some odd yards, two touchdowns and rushes for a touchdown. Hold on, before you catch attitude. All I'm saying is if Texas struggled against Michigan, had they struggled against Michigan and continued to struggle against inferior teams with the injuries we have, do you realize on our injury report this week, we had 5 running backs on our injury report. 5 running backs. So if we had
and I'll give you credit. Hold on.
In the SEC, hold on. And in the SEC against an SEC defense, forget the fact they lost against Toledo. We get it. They do suck. Mississippi State does suck. And I'll tell you, we were in the stands. We were talking shit with some Mississippi State fans, and they were so cool. Shout out to Mississippi State fans. Y'all know y'all suck, and we appreciate that. I'm really glad y'all aren't arrogant just because you're in the SEC. But it's still an SEC defense, and they're coming in, like you said on the phone with me earlier this week. You told me, look, they're going to be. This is an SEC. This is the first SEC game. They're welcoming y'all to the SEC. They're going to come in. You're the number 1 team. Like they're going to come in with a little bit more firepower than they were against Toledo, right? You said that, right?
I know. I said it.
Okay, so this is an SEC, and we still rushed for 120 yards with 5.
And that's
our starting running back fumbled twice, and our second string running back our third string running back is a true freshman. So we still have some sort. So we're still a good team because of our depth, and that's why I think yes. Should we not hang our hat on the Michigan win because they suck? Absolutely. But Michigan, like you said, is finding their rhythm, and so are we. We hadn't even found our rhythm and still beat them 35-12.
I wouldn't even argue y'all are finding y'all's rhythm, though, because this isn't new for you guys. Y'all are just plug and play. This is very reminiscent. This Texas team is very reminiscent of past Alabama teams, and I'm not saying that because I think that whatever. It's just what I have to go off of. It's plug and play, the next guy up mentality. Y'all can put that next guy in there and be okay. So it's not like y'all are adapting to a whole new system around Arch or your running backs. You already have the system in play. You just got to put the athletes there, and you'll have a ton of them. That's what separates. Now, let's get into this.
Go ahead.
Now let's get into this.
Okay.
I think we are. I was thinking about this today. I think Texas and Alabama are 1A, 1B. And I've been thinking that way since last year. Y'all beat us by 10 points. Y'all beat us by 10 points.
A lucky 10. I'll give you that. I'll give you
that was before we had found our rhythm. I wanted to see us again at the end. If y'all beat us again in the playoffs, okay. That was before Jalen Milroe really found out who he was as a quarterback and what his role was in that position.
Right.
Coming into this year, Jalen Milroe, from that Georgia game that I saw, he looks like a completely different human being.
Right.
That's not the same guy from last year. I think we have, if not the second most explosive offense in the nation. It's either right behind Texas or right ahead of Texas. The only reason I tip my cap to Texas is because of the depth. That's the only thing that makes you guys better roster-wise and talent-wise than us. I think talent-wise, we have the same, pretty much exact same team.
Okay.
Albeit a couple spots, but y'all have more depth than us. But if you put our starting 11 on offense against your starting 11 on offense, I think it's pretty darn close.
Okay, now hold on. I was with you right up until the end. Now hold on. Okay, so Ryan Williams is top 4 receiver in the country right now. I can respect that and agree with that. Now, are you saying that after Ryan Williams at the receiver position, you guys have the same depth Texas does? If Ryan Williams wasn't there, would you still be standing on this hill that y'all skilled players that your one players are even with Texas?
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. Yes, because there was a lot of talk coming into Georgia that we hadn't opened up our whole offensive playbook yet.
Which was true, which is fair.
And we hadn't opened up our whole defensive play. And in that first half, it looked like we opened up about as much of it as we could. I mean, we were up 30-7. And then it looks like we kind of shut it down a little bit in the second half. Now, the thing is, we still, I don't think, have opened up our full playbook. As far as all things considered, I don't think we have. Because we have a guy named Kobe Prentice. And he did okay. He did underratedly really good this game.
And Ty Law is a incredible perimeter blocker.
Yeah. And he's
Or
also
is that his name?
Kendrick Law,
Kendrick,
I think.
not Ty. Kendrick, not Ty. Ty Law
And
is an NFL player. Sorry.
he's pretty sneaky too. And we haven't utilized too much of him. That was the first game that I've seen of our tight end scoring. So there's still a lot of pieces that we
That's
haven't even
fair.
seen yet.
That's
We don't
true.
know how good these guys are because they're not looking that way. Because here's what Mr. DeBoer did. Here's what Mr. DeBoer did. And he's an insane coach. He's a good coach. He knows that Ryan Williams is his one. Everybody knows it. He also knows that he has a guy back there named Jalen Milroe who everybody in the nation is terrified if he can get into open space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why I compared him to Lamar Jackson and somebody called me crazy. But carry on.
And that's really all we used more players. We passed the ball to 11 different guys. So we were spreading the ball out. We were sharing the wealth. Okay.
Right.
Jalen Milroe looked a lot better as a passer, but we still didn't lean on those guys. We didn't lean on the back half of our receiving room at all.
Well, here's the thing. So when you're going against a team like that, when you're in a game like that, naturally your coaching staff is going to use. Okay, so I'd be interested to know. We should have done this research before we got on this pod, but I didn't know we were going here. I'd be interested to know the snap count differential between your top three, between your next three, because it's natural for in a good game like that. Like for instance, Texas against Alabama. Okay, we only used our top three, like Jonte Cook, who was our number 4 receiver last year. He only played 10 snaps. So I'd be interested to know what the snap count differential is, because that just to go into the whole depth thing about Alabama is, your top, I think against Georgia, and I've been saying this for weeks, that I don't think Georgia's top 3 can really compare against anybody else's top 3. Again, I don't think Georgia against Ohio State's top 3. I don't think Georgia against your top 3. I don't think Georgia against our top 3, which is why I had them rated at 5. So I'd be interested to know if the top 3, what the snap count.
Well, I know Ryan Williams was out there for most of the game, and so was Kobe Prentice.
Right.
And then after that, honestly, it was a lot of. Now, I wasn't paying attention to every little detail that they were doing, but what it seemed like from the people that I saw out there making plays, it seemed like we were rotating a lot of guys outside of the top 2.
Okay.
And I think that they were doing that is because, listen, Georgia's the biggest game up to this point, but it's not. But it's not the only game. It's not the only game up to this point. So Kalen DeBoer is not going to open up. He's not going to open it up like that. He's not going to open up the whole.
Not even against Georgia. You don't think he'd really dig deep in his bag against against I know you said this is territory. This is a territory type game.
Well, I think what it was is he didn't have to, because
so when is he going to wait till the playoff? Because you're not going to open it up against Auburn.
I think it's going to be something like, if I had to guess, if I had to put money on it, I would guess he has a specific set of plans for what Georgia likes to do. Because keep in mind, there's still a guy in that building that knows Kirby Smart like the back of his hand.
Right.
And you'd be crazy to think he didn't have any kind of strategic input on what was going on in this game. You'd be crazy to think that. So I think he game planned for it. He had his plays that we hadn't seen yet, or just stuff that we hadn't seen yet. And the thing about Kalen DeBoer, he adjusts on the fly. I was watching a film study of this game, and they ran in that first drive. They ran 2 of those kind of rail routes where the running back is sitting next to Jalen Milroe and he just kind of goes out and up. They ran 2 of those. Didn't happen. Kalen DeBoer's not afraid to run the same play. But what he did in the red zone when Justice Haynes had scored that receiving touchdown, he motioned him to beat that linebacker. He motioned him, same route, touchdown. So he can adjust on the fly, which is why I don't think he's opened up his full playbook yet. Because I think he has a set of plays in there where it's like, okay, maybe this look won't work. But if it's something as small as starting him out over here and motioning him over so he can get some momentum to beat this guy and it's a touchdown, there's no reason to go 4 or 5 plays deep when he ran the same 3 plays.
Right. I mean, I mean, this is a Kalen DeBoer that has like a 900 win percentage. So, and it's really crazy to see, like, because you got to remember, he came from Washington, but before that, like, he started at like D3 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's coaching at Bama and he's beating Georgia.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think Kirby Smart is in his own head about Alabama because
that's crazy. Isn't he like 1-7 now versus Bama?
Yeah, and he went in that post game. I watched his post game presser, and they were like, "Well, your record against being 1-6 against Alabama. What do you have to say about that, or something like that?" And he was like, "What's everybody else's record against them, right? Like nobody has a winning record like them." And then they're like, "Oh, well, what was your plans going in here for Ryan Williams?" And he was like, "There was nothing you can do." Like, it almost seemed like he just didn't know what to do. Like, he was like, "There's nothing, you can't double team him. You got a guy back there that should be playing NFL running back, and he can throw the football. There's nothing you can do."
Yeah.
And like, to hear Kirby Smart say something like, "There's nothing you can do," that's what solidified my opinion on this has got to be an unreal Alabama offense. If there's nothing Kirby Smart can do about it, what's everybody else going to do about it?
And honestly, that's a fair. I could see why. I mean, you're right. Kirby Smart is, I would say, the top mind in college football defensively. Arguably top 3 mind defensively. So if he doesn't have any answer to what the heck is going on, then
what are you going to do?
Right. Because I feel like, because what worries me about Alabama, which is crazy to say since you've gone on this whole diatribe about Ryan Williams. What worries me, because look, you're set at quarterback, right? You're set at running back. You got Jam Miller and Justice Haynes. Okay. And then
they didn't even, and that's another thing. We didn't even explore that part of the offense because they couldn't get the run game going. They committed to stopping the run game. Kirby Smart said we committed to stopping the run game. They committed to stopping the run game. And that was their game plan. If they can't, we got to stop something. If we're not going to be able to stop Jalen Milroe and the pass game, we've got to stop something. And so he picked the run game, which is why we did. But if we can run well against a team and Jalen Milroe can have his scramble drills and his designed run plays, and we can have Ryan Williams down there. Oh, Ryan Williams double team. We got Kobe Prentice over here.
Right.
Now, if any of those guys get hurt, we might be screwed.
That's where the depth comes in. But that's what I was saying, and that's what worries me outside of y'all's top 3 of Ryan Williams, Kendrick Law, and Prentice. But then we got to remember, I mean, I guess top 4 because you got Jeremy Bernard too.
He's another dog.
So, I feel like, oh, are you frozen? Okay, I feel like that, but that's what's so crazy is that's what worried me about coming into this season for Bama was I didn't know. Oh, your camera's out.
No, it's good. We're good.
I can't see you. Oh,
and we're back like we never left, baby.
Yeah, I mean that's what worried me about Bama was I didn't know if y'all had the certified legitimate outside presence. I didn't know if I didn't know if y'all had that.
Let me take my biased goggles off.
Hold on, wait a minute. So
who is this?
This is one of my friends. This is one of my friends, Shetney.
What's up, Shetney?
I worked with her for a long time. Hey, Shetney, I don't know if you're still watching, but I appreciate it. Thanks for joining. Kellen Dean. Hold on. More. All right, hold on. Wait a minute. We missed these a couple minutes ago.
Whoa. What's happening? Why didn't you have these up?
I didn't see him. I didn't see him. I didn't know. I thought it was going to give me a little notification, and it didn't. I didn't know. My bad.
Is that it? Just those 3?
Yeah, we just got it hasn't been necessary.
I think that was about the Big Ten thing.
More physical. Well, Kellen, continue to comment. I'll see it now. I got it on my screen now. I didn't know. My bad, brother. I didn't see you. Okay. All right, my bad. I didn't mean I had to get through the comments. I didn't see him on here.
Okay, so back to with taking the biased goggles off on Alabama. The thing that scares me is for one, is this sustainable for Ryan Williams? He's 17. He's young. He's playing against
That's
big
true.
dudes out there in the SEC, and where he's weighting a lot of that. He's wearing a lot of that on his shoulders.
Right.
So if it goes down with an injury or something crazy happens to him, are you good? Okay, this is my podcast now. He just got out of here real quick. So nice. This is what I like. This is fun. How are you gonna leave? Let me give him a ring. Dude, how are you gonna leave your own show? Nobody can hear you.
My bad. Okay. So we had ordered some stuff from my cat was in a box and he was making noise and I thought I heard it and then I tried to ignore it and then you couldn't hear it? Okay. Well, I heard it and I had to go make sure I had to tell him he was in like a box with crackling paper and he was like just making noise.
Just stop the camera. You know what? Anyways.
I did. I stopped the camera and muted myself.
You done derailed my whole train of thought here. This is a very unprofessional program you got going on.
Sorry. I didn't mean to. It was frustrating me. My bad.
So anyways, yeah, outside of Ryan Williams, I think we have guys to win football games, but this is a competitive SEC. I mean, our schedule is very hard.
Right.
Moving forward. We got Vandy, which is no longer a gimme. Then we got South Carolina, which is no longer a gimme. And then we got Tennessee.
Do y'all play Kentucky this year or no?
No. But we play, it goes Vandy, South Carolina, Tennessee, I want to say LSU or Mercer and then LSU.
No, because y'all still got hold on, let me look it up. I'm looking it up.
I know we got Vandy and then South Carolina. We got Vandy, South Carolina, then Tennessee, then LSU. Right after Tennessee, we got LSU. Okay. Oh, wait. No, this is old. This is old games. Oh, yeah. No, we're screwed. We're not screwed, but we got a tough stretch coming up because it's Vandy, South Carolina, then Tennessee, then Missouri, then LSU.
So y'all have where y'all at? Where are we at? So you got South Carolina. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got South Carolina, Tennessee, Missouri, LSU, Oklahoma, then Auburn. Obviously you got Mercer in there, but that's gonna be like 67-0. So I'm not worried about that. But yeah, that is a
scroll up. After we got where's the Vanderbilt game? Oh,
right there.
Up there. Okay. So we got Vandy, no longer a gimme. Then South Carolina, they play aggressive. Okay. Then scroll down. We got the 4th ranked team, 9th ranked team, 13th ranked team. We played 2 top 10 teams back to back. And then we have 3 top 25 teams back to back to back. That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with.
Then we got the AP 25 right here. You got Bama, Texas, OU. So y'all play Tennessee. Hold on. Tennessee, Missouri,
LSU.
LSU.
And then
y'all play.
I don't think OU is going to be ranked by the time we get there.
No, because we're gonna drop about 56 on them, and then
okay. Y'all still got to play Georgia.
Don't worry. We got you back.
And you know what? I'll argue this. I'll argue this point. I'll say this. In defense of Georgia, my OG SEC team, I never liked them. I never will like them. We own them. We're your daddy. Kalen DeBoer is your daddy. Nick Saban is your daddy. And the entirety of the Alabama state owns the state of Georgia.
Wow.
First and foremost. But I will say this. They can't lose another game. You're going against the team at this point in time. Auburn's about to get the worst of it. Auburn's about to get the worst of it. It's about to get real ugly. Sure. Yeah, it's gonna get, and they're going to Georgia, I think. So it's about to get real.
Oh my God!
It's gonna be real nasty for Auburn, unfortunately.
That is.
And
gross.
Then they got you guys, and I think for the rest of the season, they're fighting with their backs against the wall.
let's look at Texas's rest of the season. I know it's cake as hell, but let's just look at it. Let's get a good
A little
look.
cupcakey.
Hey, suck my nuts. All right, here we go.
NCAA bails out Texas again. That's okay.
NCAA bails out Texas. This is our
Y'all deserve the death penalty.
Shut up.
Y'all deserve the death penalty. And I'll say this. Hey, if there's any, I know there's like nobody watching this, but if there's any ESPN people or NCAA employees here, I want a full-launched investigation on Steve Sarkisian and his recruiting tactics. That's all.
What about what is okay? Well, based on,
I'm not gonna say it on a podcast, but I'll tell you.
Oh my God!
You know what I'm talking about, and that's his recruiting strategy. Okay.
Oh my God!
Need to lock it in. That's got to be illegal.
I shouldn't have never told you shit. Okay.
Gotta be illegal, twin.
we got. Okay, so we got a bye week that. Why you had to say that on this podcast, man? Oh my God!
I ain't even say nothing. Nobody even knows what I'm talking about. I think I'm a lunatic.
Okay, so we got Oklahoma followed by Georgia. These next 2 weeks right here, boy.
Bad. But y'all got to buy though.
Yeah, which is good because we got to get Quinn healthy. We got to get Quinn healthy, man. Listen, okay, so I know there is a national. Hold on, there is a national media buy. Look at this.
What up?
What up, Bryce? So there's a national media bias against. Oh wait, what was I saying? I don't even. I don't remember.
National media bias against who?
I don't remember. But so you have. So now you got Texas going into a bye week. You got to get Quinn healthy. Right now, 2 weeks ago, Quinn was a front runner for the Heisman. He misses 2 games. Thank God we played ULM and Mississippi State because Mississippi State sucks. So these next 2 games are going to make or break Quinn's Heisman.
Okay, here's the thing. Let me get up in here. Let me just get up in here. Let me break this down for you. Quinn missed the exact perfect amount of time that he needed to miss.
It came at probably the best time of the year.
Because which sucks that you only have a 2-game stretch and one of them sucks. But whatever. I digress. Now listen, Oklahoma, settle down. Oklahoma, I think the Red River rivalry and all of these good things is going to be a decent game to watch in the first quarter or 2, maybe the first half. But I think y'all end up destroying them.
Listen, okay. It's the same thing.
Y'all got Georgia.
Just because how you feel about Auburn, Alabama is how I feel about Texas, Oklahoma. That kick 6, it does not matter. Last year, Texas goes to a playoff. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we lose to Oklahoma on a last-second drive. So, like, that game perfectly presents the duality of college football.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Because, yes, Auburn and Alabama is always close. And I'm sure A&M and OU versus Texas is always close. But there's always those seasons where it's not close. There's always those seasons. And I think this is that season for you. Well, shoot. Maybe, though. Maybe he came out at the wrong time. Maybe he got injured at the wrong time because throwing him right back in after missing 3 weeks of football against Oklahoma might not be a good idea. They should have thrown him in the second half of Mississippi State, probably.
I said, give him 2 drives against Miss State. Give him 2 drives. Let him get his arm warm. Let him kind of figure it out. And before, because he's going into Oklahoma on almost a month's rest. Because y'all
got a bye week too. That is a month.
Because you're talking about it's 3 weeks and game week. It's 3 weeks game week, but he only played half the game against UTSA, so he might as well have rested that week too.
And a GTSA.
And outside of Michigan, the 2 weeks prior, he only played half the game anyway.
But you know what? I think it's okay because guess what? You know what's crazy? I don't watch a lot of Texas football, but when I do, you know what it seems like? It seems like the perfect fit for Jalen Milroe. It's just step
You
back
know, he
and just, hey, find
launched
somebody
it.
down there and just launch it.
They down there somewhere. Like
Just chunk it. So, I mean, here's the thing. I think Oklahoma's defense is respectable. As much as you hate
they
them, I
are.
think they are
They
a
are. They are.
respectable defense. But they're like on par with Michigan. They just like got no offense, and their defense is okay.
Pretty
But in
good.
college football, that's not saying much.
Right. Right. I mean, I think you're talking about a top 30 defense versus a top statistic team defense. I mean, offense in Texas. So it's definitely going to be a, can Oklahoma stop Texas? Can they get a stop or two? And B, can Texas stop the run? Because that's been the biggest bugaboo. So because it showed up in Colorado State. They didn't the score sheet will tell you they didn't do well. They had like 3 yards of carry, and that's great, right? Great. 3 yards of carry is great. All that's fantastic. But when you watch the game, and then you go and the same stuff showed up against Mississippi State. The same the same bugaboo, the ability to stop the run showed up against Mississippi State. And so and now you're talking about an Oklahoma offense that's bringing in a dynamic quarterback. You're talking about an Oklahoma offense that's bringing in a dynamic running back, and if he plays in Taylor Tatum, and obviously they're going to probably bring back. They're probably going to bring back
If
2 of
Oklahoma
their top
wants,
3 receivers.
here's the thing: if Oklahoma wants a shot at the season, they gotta go. They gotta put all their cards in. They gotta lay it all out on the line right now.
I mean, Mississippi State still went in and rushed for 150 yards, which was more than Texas, which was 120. So,
But I mean, I don't know how good y'all secondary is.
our ability to rush and stop the rush is good. Let's say we go and play an Ohio State in the playoff when we got to play Quinshawn Judkins. I don't want to do that. I'm good. I need somebody to beat them right now. Like I need State
before it gets to that point.
Like I don't want any problem. I don't want anything to do with that.
You don't want no smoke with that.
I don't want no smoke with that. Okay. And then
I just want to see. I want to see y'all. That's all I got. I got my eyes set on Texas, the great state. That's what I got my eyes set. But y'all still got to get. Listen, you're really, and you know how I know you're disrespectful as a human being. You know how I know you're a disrespectful human being? Because now that we've beat Georgia, you've completely overlooked them as a football program.
Yeah. Yeah. No, hold on. Wait a
minute. And I don't know if that's disrespectful to us or if that's disrespectful to Georgia.
Back up. What did I been telling? What did I tell you at the beginning? Okay. For the audience that doesn't know, that might not or may watch this, we talk on the phone all day, almost every day, because we work jobs. We got to work. We're bored. What have I been telling you every day we talk on the phone about Michigan, about Georgia? What have I said?
About the game? About how you want us to
No. About Georgia, about the team of Georgia. What have I said?
You said a lot about okay.
I've said they are overrated. I said they were overrated from the beginning of the season.
You said they were overrated. You said this was the most beatable Georgia's ever looked. That's fair.
True.
But
that's true.
Alabama is not the game you look at. Alabama is not the team that you look at. And if I'm Texas, I'm not looking at the Alabama-Georgia game and going, okay, we know what they're about now. Because guess what? Georgia's record against Alabama is 1-7. Georgia's record against everybody else is undefeated, pretty much. Georgia is boo-boo. I agree with you. They're boo-boo, and we dog-walk them. I agree with you. But let's not get it confused and twisted. Alabama's the standard when it comes to Georgia. But when we're talking about everybody else, though, Georgia's undefeated. They were on a 43-0 win streak coming into Alabama.
In regular season.
Season.
I mean, here's the thing about Georgia, okay?
We're not going to be nice about. See, we're talking. We already got into it already. It was an old-fashioned Alabama ass whooping against the University of Georgia. Is what it was. Second half is null and void. And we go watch it. Go watch it. We got into it. Don't worry about it.
Go watch number 2. Go watch number 2.
Go watch about it.
Oh my God.
Get him in here. What are you doing? Come on. Get up in here.
Logan, come on. What are you waiting on?
I'll talk about it all over again.
We can get into it.
Don't bother me.
Isaac's standing on bitterness.
I'll die on this hill. I'll die on this hill right here today.
He's standing on bitterness. Hold on. Let's see.
I
do think Bama will always beat UGA because UGA is scared of Bama. We could tackle. I guess
is Bryce a Georgia fan?
Yeah, he lives in Georgia. I think he meant couldn't. We couldn't tackle or even make a pass. I mean, when your quarterback throws 3 picks, I mean,
Carson Beck is overrated. He's not Stetson Bennett. And I think y'all tried to find a 1-to-1 clone of Stetson Bennett and Carson Beck, and y'all couldn't do it. And I think that showed this week. Also, there's a lot going on right now.
The win streak doesn't matter at the end of the day. What matters is
how good they are this year.
Which is fair, which is why. So Logan,
what is up with you? No, what is up with you and your brother doing this whole history doesn't matter thing?
Hold on. What's up? Send you the link? All right. What's your email? Text me your email.
Get him in.
iCloud. All right, cool. Be there in a second.
Bye. Get him in. I want him in. I swear to God. Hey, I'm running a blitz through this damn computer screen as soon as he gets in here. I'm stacking the line, baby. Get him in. Where you at?
I got it. I got it. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot of shit talking coming from a guy whose team just gave up 150 rushing yards against Mississippi State. That's what I feel like.
It's sent. I send it to him. I send it to him right now.
That's what I feel like. Don't talk crazy. Yeah, let's get
it. This is crazy.
That's an insane statement to make forever. Never say that one again.
Listen,
that's such a crazy take.
I'm low. Listen, I am low on Carson Beck, but like
I'm not that low. I'm not that low. I'm not that. Georgia's still okay. Georgia's still a respectable team. Can everybody just settle down? Carson Beck had 400 passing yards against Alabama, albeit it was second half garbage time. Okay, if we score that touchdown in the third quarter, it's at that point it's considered garbage time touchdowns. Let's be real. The problem is we didn't, and so now it became a close game. But he still had 400 passing yards against Alabama. That's good. That's really good.
Considering
that's good to do against anybody.
Yeah, considering you got Keon Sabb and all them guys.
That's our problem. That's our problem. Then I think that's why I don't want Texas, but I do at the same time because I think y'all are going to expose our secondary. Because
really, you're low on the secondary.
Yeah, we're real young. We're real inexperienced. I think this game is really good for them, especially I forget his name. Where's he at? No, I saw some stuff shaking. What happened? Where's he at? Get him in.
He's not here yet. I just changed. He's not here yet. I'll send him a link. It'll pop up. I'll let you know when he's here. You don't gotta. Hey. You don't gotta do all that. It's extra.
Is it?
I can because we can hear it in the mic.
You're a bad teammate.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming to the pod, we got Logan Moley. Welcome to the pod, lady. He's been talking a whole lot of
talk about it. No, talk about it. Bring it up. Say something. Say something. Say something. Say something.
Let's see if you can
talk about it. Say something. Say something. Talk about it.
Can you stand on bitterness?
Talk about it. Say something. Say something. I want to hear it.
Can he stand on bitterness?
Why do you look bald? Fix your hat.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes or no? You can hear me. I can't hear you. Why not?
Hello.
Oh, hey, God. Hey, that was so loud.
Good morning.
All right, let me get doubles, runners, doubles, runners. Okay,
Raiders.
What is this? What are we doing?
All right. So Logan, I feel like I need to take a step back, and I need to let you and Isaac get into this Alabama-Georgia conversation. So I'm gonna mute myself, and we're gonna let y'all two go at it. Mainly because Logan, I need. Here's the thing, brother. You got to interact. I need your interaction. I need you to step up, and I need you to cut Isaac off when he says something crazy. And then I need you to say with your chest.
Do you
Stand
not
on
see what it
business.
says at the bottom of this screen right here under my name, right under my name? Look at it. And that's for all
It
the
says-
haters on TikTok that said I didn't look at that. Elite ball knower. That's me. I know
Hold on,
football.
No, we got to hide it. Hide it, hide it, hide it. There we go. Here we go. We got, ladies and gentlemen, ding, 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 ding. We have
Standing in the red corner, we have Isaac Ray Sharp, and standing in the blue corner, we have Logan James Moley.
James is a gay middle name.
Okay,
James
let's
is a gay
stop.
middle-
Ray, we're good.
Don't bring my government into this. Don't bring my government in here.
We're talking about Ray. Come on,
Hey,
Ray.
settle down. Let's settle down. Let's settle down.
let's relax.
Let's talk about it. Why are you hating
Okay.
on me? Why are you hating on my squad? I didn't hate on your squad.
You've hated on my squad for 20 years.
Your squad was ass for 20 years.
Not true. That's simply not true. Okay,
They were
y'all may
pretty
have
bad.
y'all may have a couple championships.
Let's talk about it. No, hold on. I don't care about that. History don't matter to you guys. Apparently, in the
Does it?
Moley household, it doesn't matter to you guys.
Nah,
But it
that's
sure as
happened
hell
since
mattered
then.
last year. It sure as hell mattered last year when y'all were when y'all were arguing for a playoff spot against Alabama. That's when it mattered. That's when history mattered.
Because we won our conference championship.
Womp womp.
I mean,
Put any
that's
team
the,
in the SEC. Put
that's the
Vandy
name
in the SEC.
That's
They're
the name
winning
of the
it.
game.
They're winning the
that's the
conference championship. So did we, though.
That's
We
the
beat
name of the
Georgia
game.
for the SEC
and
championship.
y'all got in, didn't you?
But we almost didn't.
Oh,
Because
okay,
y'all
but
was
y'all got
throwing a
in,
damn
though.
fit. But y'all were throwing a fit about it. A fit and a half, I'd even say.
Okay. Let me ask you this: do you think Georgia three-peats last year if they get in?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
then
for sure.
So you think they should have got in over Texas?
Yeah.
No.
Y'all are butt. Y'all were
No.
actually no. I think it played out the way it needed to play. I just wish y'all would have won y'all's game
Yeah, I do too.
because I wanted to see y'all, and I wish we would have won our game because I wanted to see you. But let's talk about this. Why aren't you giving us credit for putting an absolute
Because of the second half.
belt to ass? Don't worry about the second half.
No, you can't say that
I'm
because
not worried about that.
that's
Name one
no-
team. Name one team in the entire country besides Alabama. If we're looking at just box scores and stats, that can give up 28
Okay.
unanswered points to Georgia and still win the football game.
Let me ask you this: do you win with your backup quarterback?
Ty Simpson's a dog.
Is he as good as Jalen Milroe though?
I don't think there's a player in the country as good as Jalen Milroe.
Wow, that is a bold take. That's
No,
a
it's not.
bold take.
No, it's not. It's not a bold take.
So you think he's the best quarterback in the nation?
I think. Hold on now. Now I'll get into this with you. It depends on what you think a quarterback is. I think he is the best
He's the best
football player.
mobile quarterback.
I think he is the best football player on a team in the nation.
Watch what you say now.
In the SEC, as far as traditional quarterback things go, I don't think he's the best quarterback. But if you take that away, if you look at who he is as a player and the ability that he can give to an offense, I think he's the most valuable player to our team right now. And we're the number one team, which makes him the best. That's just how life works.
Y'all beat a boo-boo Georgia team.
But
though.
they're not that boo-boo, though.
They-
Like, yeah, they're
They
boo-boo.
have Carson Beck as their quarterback.
Dude,
They're boo-boo.
okay, listen. Carson's a respectable young man. He's got a
Oh my
big old
God.
forehead. He's got the traditional quarterback thing. He's got the Manning forehead, this big old knocker right here. Okay, he's got a sleeve full of tattoos, and he got weird-looking eyes.
He does.
Okay, he's a freaky-looking guy. He's a freaky
And he's
looking
not a
dude.
freak athlete. Tell
He's
you that.
not. He's not. He's not Stetson Bennett.
But
But I
Stetson-
will. But Carson Beck is. He is good enough to. If he's good enough to play for Georgia under Kirby Smart, I think he's good enough to play anywhere in the nation. That's not a crazy take. I don't care. That's not a crazy take.
Mm.
Now, I was shitting on Carson Beck earlier and I hold that true. He's not a good quarterback, and I think he sucks. I think Georgia sucks. But let's not act like just because we beat them, all of a sudden now that they're boo boo. They were boo boo before we got to them. We just exposed how bad they really were. And in the second half,
Yeah, but how can you hold that win so high when they've played they played Kentucky close. Like y'all.
But they always play. They always play Kentucky close. You guys always play OU close. We always play Auburn close. There's games for elite teams that always get played.
Yeah, but
close.
Kentucky's not elite.
Neither is Auburn. And it took a 4th and 31 Hail Mary prayer to beat them last year.
Dude.
There's some butt. Some butt. And Georgia might be a little bit butt, and that's okay. But they're a little bit butt. A little bit butt, bro. But I keep losing my train of thought because you got me fired up and riled up, and you got my nipples hard, and I don't like it. Okay. I don't like this. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Georgia, y'all aren't going to go walk all over Georgia. Y'all aren't going to go walk all over Georgia. I hate to break it. No.
Wow.
No, there's no way. There's no way. Georgia isn't that team. They're not. They're different. They're different than Kentucky. They're different than Mississippi State.
So do you
They're
think
different than all
we're
these
better
teams.
than Kentucky?
Yeah. I think y'all win the game. And I think
I don't think Georgia finishes in the top 10 this year.
You're just saying anything, huh?
I really don't.
Okay. Actually, that's not a crazy take because I can see them losing 3 games. I can see Georgia losing 3 games. But I can also see them winning. I can also see them winning out though. If they play second half to start the game.
Yeah.
They're as good as anybody in the country. Right? Is that a crazy no, it's not a crazy take.
No, it's not.
If Carson Beck can go out there and wheel 400 passes or 400 passing yards in a quarter and 2 quarters and a half of football, that's hard to do against anybody.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm not going to lie, I think y'all's defense is that much overrated.
What?
That much.
I'm a Texas fan through and through. You know this. The only downside to the Texas defense right now is our run defense.
And this is when I hop in. Did you just say our defense is overrated?
I said that much. That much overrated.
Okay. It looked like you said that much.
No, that much. Right.
Why
think y'all just that much overrated.
Why do you think that?
Y'all
I can tell you why.
Played an offense. Y'all haven't played an offense even a little bit. Y'all played no offenses at all, actually. Literally. Y'all played nobody, literally.
Like I said,
and the best offense that y'all played this year is against literally Michigan. So
okay. No.
Like I said, our run defense is going to be our thorn.
Okay. I think
other than
I don't think y'all secondary is
on us.
We don't know that because everybody y'all played has not been good.
That's true. I mean,
y'all haven't had anybody to test. Y'all haven't had a good enough offense in there to test your secondary, and y'all aren't going to get it against Oklahoma University or whatever their name is. And y'all aren't going to get it. Y'all might get a little bit of it against Georgia. But for the rest of y'all's schedule, y'all aren't going to have to play. That's another downside. Texas has the potential to win out with their offense. Just with their offense. They can outscore anybody besides Alabama.
Okay,
they can outscore anybody in the nation besides Alabama. But then you get into going against Ohio State. And then you get into going against Alabama. And you get into going against whoever else decides to make the playoff this year. That's probably going to have a good offense. If y'all have to see Tennessee or Ole Miss, that'll be games that will test y'all's defense secondary at least. And I don't think you guys are prepared to have that conversation if it doesn't go well. That's it.
So you think that against this schedule, all of a sudden, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get it.
Bring it up. I'll talk about it.
I'm bringing it up.
One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about it.
Okay. I'm going to stand behind mine.
I'm going to talk about it. Let's say something. Who we got? Oklahoma.
There we go.
Washington. Georgia.
So you're
Carson Beck. Vanderbilt. Who? Florida. Whatever their head coach's name is. Arkansas. Good quarterback, but he's a little fast. Kentucky. But. Texas A&M.
Are you kidding? Dude, Kentucky just beat Ole Miss and took Georgia to 1.
But that's because of their defense, though.
That's
because of their defense, though. And also, that's because Ole Miss is overrated, though. This much overrated, not this much. been overrated. They've been overrated for fucking 8 years since Lane Kiffin. However long Lane Kiffin's been there, they've been overrated. Because you know what Lane Kiffin likes to do? Pad stats. That's what he likes to do. He likes to run RPO, one read, chunk that thing, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, he's still one of the greatest colleges. Yeah, he's not good. Florida,
Billy Napier.
That's the problem. A&M. Okay, A&M.
Pick
is
one.
that? Yeah.
Pick a problem.
Who else we got? Who else we got up on? Michigan. They run the football. That's it. UTSA. Where even? San Antonio? All right, then. UL Monroe, not even really Louisiana for real. Mississippi State?
Not even Mississippi for real.
Not even for real Mississippi. They don't even get the Mississippi. They're just the state. So doesn't count. I think y'all win out. I think y'all could easily go 12-0, and I think y'all don't finish. I think you'll finish number 2 because our schedule's harder, and if we win out, we definitely deserve one more than you guys. But, I mean, the only team that I can think of that'll give y'all a little challenge in the passing game is either going to be maybe Florida and maybe A&M and maybe Georgia.
A&M?
Only because, they be like that sometimes.
Who's going to play quarterback for them right now?
It don't matter, though, because I thought the same thing. I think the same thing about A&M every year. I'm like, oh, they suck. What are we even talking about? And then they go out there and they pass for 462 yards and rush for 200 yards, and then we win them by a touchdown.
I mean,
that's another one of y'all's games that's always close, kind of close.
Ever since Johnny Manziel got there, it's just been always way too close because we have and Ole Miss had that problem. Remember that year that Ole Miss played Alabama and there was that highlight of whoever his name was getting sacked and he just chunked the ball up and then it got tipped and then they caught it and ran for a touchdown?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ever since that play, it sucked playing Ole Miss. But you know who I can't wait to see is Tennessee. You know why? Because they're overrated. Nah. Not even worried about it. Not even worried about it.
That boy can throw that thing.
I mean, hold on now. We're talking about it. They played an Oklahoma defense who we already agreed is a legitimate defense.
And guess what?
They beat them by 10. They beat them by 10.
I want to stop. Can we? Okay. Everybody ever that comes across this video, let's all agree on one thing. 10 points is not that much. That's not that much to beat a team by. It's not. It's not that much.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not that much.
They barely beat Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee barely beat Oklahoma.
Don't say barely because you were the one. Oh, we beat Bama by 2 scores. I'm holding on to that. So stand on what you stand on. Okay.
We did beat Bama by two scores.
We did.
See, but I hate that y'all say that. 10 and not 2 points. It's the scores. But it's the lowest amount of 2 scores that you can physically get. That's the problem. That's the problem with it, though. It's the smallest amount that you could get. Well, and it came in like the 4th quarter when we weren't going to get the ball back. So y'all cheated, and y'all deserve a recruiting indictment.
Okay, hold on. All right. So
W is a W.
I feel like okay. So we've gone over a lot of the things that's been going on in the SEC.
Is it hot in here?
Yeah, I know. So let's move on to something we all agree with. Let's move on to something we all agree with. In other words, the Texans barely hang on at home against Jacksonville. Did you guys watch the game live?
Okay, listen.
Yes.
Listen, can I
CJ is him.
All right, hold on. Let's go around the table. Isaac, first.
I just want to say something real quick. Just a general statement.
What are your thoughts on the game?
Okay. I got 2. First and foremost, for some reason, I'm not as excited about Texans football as I have been about just college football in general this year. Right. I think that's kind of crazy. Mainly because we have a big, fat motherfucker on the offensive line who we just paid more money than I'll ever even be able to know how to spell. And all he can manage to do is a whole lot of
jump off
penalties. That's it.
A whole lot of
what are we
jumping
doing?
off sides? A whole lot of holdings.
And he's been bald since he was in college. So what are we really talking about for real? Like, how are you bald and can't stay still? Like, I don't get the correlation here.
The ball's right there. It's right there. You can see it.
If you look inside, it's right there.
And we know.
I mean, no way. It's this way. He's a left tackle, so it's
or no, yeah,
right here. It's inside.
I'm hating on my dog LT. He is the problem. He's the problem. He's the biggest issue right now.
Now,
but he's also not playing bad.
He's got the most
here's the thing.
penalties on offense.
But here's the thing.
But when he's not
Everybody-
offsides and not a legal formation, he's giving up like nothing to the defense.
Here's the thing, though. Every single person on that offensive line this week for the Texans got a holding or got a flag.
Kenyon
this
Green.
week.
That boy
Kenyon
can
Green
Oh
hold.
yeah,
got
that boy
one.
gone.
Shaq
Yeah, that boy
Mason
gone.
got a holding.
Olden got to go. And ball.
LT got a holding, and I'm pretty sure he got a lined up or too many men in the backfield.
Too
I
expensive.
mean, Juice Scruggs got a holding. I think like
His name's Juice.
There's just
I
saw somebody-
son Juice.
Listen, I saw something, and I don't want. Listen, I read this somewhere else. I don't agree with it, and I even think it's wrong. Somebody said we need a bunch of Klans members on our offensive line.
What?
I need
They said the Texans need MAGA supporters on their offense. I don't agree with that statement, and I think it was messed up.
I need an offensive line that drinks Bud Light. Okay, not Hennessy.
and I think it was messed up, and I think whoever said
That's
that
not right. That's wrong.
they
Okay,
deserve.
wait. Hey, focus. Everybody focus. Bring it back in.
We got to save the pod. That was wrong. I just want to say. Okay, carry on.
What's the play of the game? I'll tell you mine, but y'all go first.
Oh, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you. I got it.
You
Isaac
tell
go
me
first.
yours. No, you go first.
No. All right, Logan go first. No, I'll go first. Kalen Bullock
Hey.
hawking down Tank Gigs Bigsby
Incorrect.
on a touchdown.
Incorrect.
That was
Then we got the fourth down stop on the goal line.
Not even
all right.
close.
Without that play, we're 2-2.
Not even close.
Okay. All right, Isaac, go next.
Without what play? Without what play we're 2-2 because we didn't score enough points. Stephon Diggs rushing touchdown.
Ooh, that's a good one.
If he doesn't score that, we lose that
he
game.
Was he trying to throw it?
I don't know what he was trying to do.
It was a double. I think he was going to throw it back to CJ.
I
And whenever he picked up to throw it to CJ, because I think it was going to be a double pass, and they were going to have a backside drag on it. And then he picked up, about to throw it to CJ. He saw every linebacker and corner
Ever
dart.
in the NFL. He saw them all in the NFL. Every
all of
linebacker in the NFL.
They all left. And so
They all
he was
stood up.
and he was like, "A word," and then he just ran it in for a touchdown. So
Yeah,
Good
but
for
that
him.
happened
That was
pretty
his
early,
first.
right? That happened pretty
But
early.
still,
No,
I always think about stuff like that. It's like, man, if we didn't score on that bogus ass play, we would have lost this game.
yeah,
So you got to show those some love,
Yeah, but we would have been down 2 touchdowns.
and we would have lost the game. We wouldn't have scored because
Right.
guess what? Offsides, 78.
Illegal formation.
God, that boy irritates the damn hell out of me. I can't even fucking understand. What is he doing?
and
Goodness.
every time it's a big play, for like a first down, it'd be 3rd and 13. CJ rolls out, scrambling for his life, throws a 25-yard dart to Nico Collins.
Nico Collins.
Hold
Okay,
it
hold
off it.
Dog. That man's
I'll
a dog.
I'll
Listen.
shit my pants.
Listen, can I bring some negative into this? I want to bring some negatives in here. I want to be a
Why are
negative
you
man.
doing that?
Okay, let's bring it
I wanna
down.
bring
Let's
some-
bring it down. Let's
I want
bring
to
it
bring some
down.
negatives in here.
What's some negatives?
Here's my thing. Okay, I think Stephon Diggs' age is showing. I know he got play of the game and all that. I think his age is showing now. And I think
Yeah,
that's
but
not a crazy
we
statement.
knew he wasn't going to come in and be the number 1 guy.
We knew he wasn't going to be the number 1 guy, but we thought he was going to be
He's
like,
he's in the perfect role.
dude, he's
right
like
now.
our check down guy, which it's not bad. It's just
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it. And I was watching the game and they were showing replays of like Stephon Diggs not being able to get open. And I was just like, man,
All right. So here's the
he
thing.
really lost a step here.
Did he lose a step? We're talking about 25 receptions for 233 yards and 2 touchdowns. Okay. This is a guy who's who's been right at around 70 yards a game. Last week he had 10 receptions and 94 yards. Okay.
It's just maybe not lost a step. Maybe lost a step was a bad way to go about it, but it's just
Okay.
like not the way I was anticipating it going.
Okay.
For sure.
And
can we
also,
talk-
and it
can we
seems
talk
like
about-
we tried to. Now this might be a crazy take, and I might be wrong, and I'll admit if I'm wrong, and I'll take it. But it seems like it's not really one of those things where he's just open and we just happen to find him. To me, it seems a lot of like, hey, we just got to throw him a bone every couple of drives so he stays happy. It looks like we're forcing him the ball on these weird little like 3-yard in routes.
Okay. I mean,
But it's also situation type stuff too. Like if it's
Yeah.
second and short,
When have you ever known Bobby Slowick to do whatever the fuck that rushing touchdown was about to be? When have you ever seen that ever?
Well, that's the thing. We're talking about 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row.
Like he's getting real deep in his bag.
Hold on. Exactly. I'm about to go there. 2 weeks in a row. Last week against Minnesota. It's the second quarter, and here it's a double reverse, followed by a fullback dive.
We were getting shit on.
Exactly.
You got to do something to spark the offense.
You shouldn't even have to be in that position, though.
That's what I'm saying. We weren't getting shit on in Jacksonville. I mean, we were losing, but it was still
at the point of that,
the offense.
But why is it got to be a trick play, though?
At that point, we were doing nothing offensively.
That's my point. That's a problem.
Our run game is null and void since Mixon's been out. We haven't been like how many rushing yards did we have last game?
Hold that thought.
67 or something. Like it was nothing.
I want on this public forum right here, on this public one right here. I want you, maybe even on your hands and knees, but I'll take just sitting down. I want a public PSA apology about your man Cam Wham Bam. I want an apology about him. Cammy Whammy Akers. Say it. Okay. I want to hear it.
Wait, but I don't know because.
But. Nah. I don't want to hear none of that because guess what? Cam Akers running better. Oh, but our O-line, our run blocking is no good.
Hey, Derek Gumbawaller, though.
And I can live with that. But guess what? That wasn't the excuse for Dameon Pierce. He didn't get that credit.
They're two different types of running backs, though. They're two different types of running backs.
All right. Listen.
Dameon Pierce is in between the tackle kind of guy.
This is more of a spat that I got with Ethan because Ethan was not letting me use the bad run blocking excuse for Dameon Pierce. So he can't use that. He cannot use that for Cam Akers. So I want to hear it.
Okay. I mean, last week, 13 to 53, 4.1 yards a carry. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's a star back. And last week against Minnesota, 9 for 21, 2.3 a carry. That's a bad game. I understand that. But with that being said, he is a better fit in this offense than Dameon Pierce.
You better say something. I knew you was gonna say some bullshit. What's no? Which one's no? This one? This one? Is that no?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's not. Because guess what? We can tell. Now, there's a gap between Joe Mixon and Dameon Pierce. I can admit that.
A big one.
Let's settle down. Can we calm down?
Okay.
Talking? Let's relax a little bit, man. There's a gap between Joe Mixon and Dameon Pierce. But there's an even bigger gap, I'd argue, between Dameon Pierce and Cam Akers.
Why? What? Okay. All right. Let's talk about it. What is it? What is your argument? I want to hear it.
Okay.
I haven't heard it. He argues with me. We argue about this at least 2 times a week.
Here's the thing. Not me. I'm not even going to say we. Y'all. Whoever y'all is, to whom it may be concerned to and addressed to as when and if so and how. That one. Whoever, fuck y'all. That's how I feel. Because Dameon Pierce had a outstanding rookie season.
And then what happened?
Dude, he literally had to completely switch it. He had to switch everything he's ever known in the sport of football because he's never been in an offense like that he's had to learn that kind of play and that kind of play style. Never, ever in his life. And it's in the NFL. Have you heard an NFL play? Say one right now. And then be a guy who's never had to hear that before and then tell me how good you do. He probably didn't even know what he was supposed to be doing on about 30% of those runs.
Hey, CJ, what I'm supposed to do? What I'm supposed to do?
CJ, what I'm supposed to do? I don't know. I'm a rookie, man.
Where I'm supposed to go?
He like, CJ, why you got the armband? I don't got an armband. I'm the quarterback. I don't know.
That's crazy. Now that you mention it, they should have put an armband and then like in corresponding. So like whatever play 1 is on CJ's armband, they should have been like on his armband, play one says whatever DP is supposed to do, they should.
Mhm.
If it says block right,
But
block right,
I'll say this.
run
now,
to the right, slow down, come back to the right, or
Now
run
he
to the
has-
left. Like what?
he has a borderline elite rookie year. I'd say borderline elite. It was really good for a rookie. Okay. Then he goes into a sophomore year. And we're not now all of a sudden we're not giving the sophomore slump excuse to Dameon Pierce. We're not doing it.
Wasn't he hurt
When
too?
But we have a veteran guy in Devin Singletary that's played in this scheme before, playing, I'll say better, but not so good to where it was like, oh my God, Dameon Pierce sucks. Right? I would say that's not crazy. And then we get Joe Mixon this offseason. Seemingly everybody besides me and D'Amico Ryans has given up on Dameon Pierce. And he doesn't look good in preseason. And everybody says, oh, he's washed. He's butt. He sucks. Get him out. Trade him. Nobody was blocking for him. Not a single one. Not a single one person was blocking for him. And then he goes out there against Jacksonville or whoever, for the Colts, and he gets 3 rushes for like 16 yards.
This is true.
And Joe Mixon goes stupid in that game. Stupid. And then they both get hurt. Or actually, no. Then we go to Chicago. And Joe Mixon doesn't play as good. And Dameon Pierce is injured. And he's been injured ever since. And then Joe Mixon was injured. And now our run game is like non-existent anymore.
Can I say that Dameon Pierce could be injury prone?
That's a conversation we can have.
That's not a conversation I want to talk about.
But
this is the second year in a row that he's been hurt for multiple
it
games.
may not be a conversation you want to have, but it might be a conversation worth having.
Is it? Then we could say Tank Dell's injury prone.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
But the difference between wide receiver and the running backs right now is we're so much deeper at receiver than we are at running back.
Oh, and Dameon Pierce is an aggressive young man. He's an aggressive guy. He likes to get in, pound the rock, okay, and get out. That's what he likes to do. And running back is a very physical position. We know that. You're running into big, fat, 700-pound guys all day long.
I'll give you this. He should be our third down back.
No, he should be our running back too.
Yeah. If Dameon Pierce is the running back that we all think, if Dameon Pierce is the running back that Isaac thinks he is, then he should be RB2. Hold on. So let me ask you this. So next year, we're going to have Joe Mixon, Dameon Pierce. Do you think we draft a running back at 3? Not at 3, but do you think we draft a running back next year?
No.
Not even Ashton Jeanty in like 28, 27?
Ashton Jeanty's not falling that far.
If he doesn't, he's a running back. Running backs have low draft value.
Not a guy that's averaging 200 yards per game. Not
And
that
10
guy.
And 10
That
yards
guy's
a
not
carry.
dropping. Yeah, that guy's not dropping that far.
I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying, if he is there at 28, are
Yeah.
you dropping? Are
Yes.
you drafting?
Well, depends. What if he goes out there and averages 2 yards per carry for the rest of the year?
I'm not saying you'll never know that. Anytime you draft
okay.
a player,
Now
you'll
you're
never
speaking in
know.
hypotheticals.
If he
Right.
has the season, well then I mean, if he has the season he's had up to this point, and he falls that far, he's the best player available at that point in time. So yeah, you pick him up.
Right.
But also at the same time, we obviously Nick Caserio and D'Amico don't care that, or they don't view it, or at least they didn't view it as that much of a issue because we didn't draft a receiver or we didn't draft a running back last year. We picked up JJ Taylor, who's undrafted free agent, who's not that
Right.
great.
Who's buns?
Yeah, not good. Okay, bad. bad.
So this week
Hey,
we
Ethan, I
have-
can't see you. Make the thing go away. Yeah, that thing.
So this week we have the Bills. How are we feeling about going up against?
Oh, we're about to go get dog walked, baby.
We're gonna get dog walked by
If
Buffalo?
Joe Mixon is back, it's gonna be a closer game than normal. Than what
I'll
it
say
would have
this.
been.
I'll say this. We got the potential to win or lose every game from this point out.
Okay, so I think we did have the discussion about did we get fooled last year?
No.
Because CJ is that guy. We've
He's
seen
that
No,
that.
I agree.
He's that guy.
The connection between CJ and Nico is still real, and it is a real thing. And I'm not saying that CJ isn't that
Okay,
guy.
So do we
But
draft an
as a
offense?
team,
Do we draft an offensive lineman this year?
No.
I
No.
mean,
No.
we have. Why
Listen
not?
to
Why
me.
not?
Just listen to me. I'm the elite ball knower. I'm the only one with it. Listen to me. We can't go out there and draft anymore. Nick Casario, love him
He's
to
a-
death. He's
he's a
done
dog.
good. He can't draft O linemen if you paid him $10 billion. He can't see them and go, that guy's good at blocking people and not letting them hit the court. He can't do it. Juice Scruggs, I'd argue, is still unproven.
But
He's better than anybody we've had, but he's
Yeah.
still unproven.
for sure. He's the best since Myers.
Yeah, and all the other ones he drafted suck. He drafted Austin Deculus. Huh?
Yeah.
He went to Fair. He went to Cy-Fair.
Cy-Fair, but Cy-Fair don't care. Cy-Fair not good. He's not
Side
good at
butt.
football. Yeah, he done. What we need to do, here's what we need to do. We need to go out there and we need to trade for or acquire through free agency proven offensive linemen. That's how we build our offensive line.
So you want to give up draft capital for that?
You're gonna have to.
We're in our window. We have the team to
true.
win outside of our
Okay. So did we over anticipate the wideness of our Super Bowl window?
As long as CJ Stroud and Nico Collins are on this team, we got a window.
Yeah, the window's there.
Window's there.
Okay.
They can win you. Those two alone can win you.
Okay, but
football
I'm talking about this year, 2024. Is the window maybe not as wide as we thought it was?
No, I think it's still wide open. I think
Okay,
I think if you
so
came into this year thinking the
think
window was
Do you think we beat everybody in our division twice?
I don't know. You're talking about a stretch where you got Baltimore, Kansas City, and Miami.
listen, I think what we're doing right now,
There's a chance we go 0-3 in that stretch.
there's a chance right now that we're overreacting as a fan base. That's what I
Maybe.
think.
But
We're
but
overreacting.
we are
Here's
3 weeks. We are 4. What is it? 4 weeks in.
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
And we're a
We're
month.
3-1. We're
I
3-1.
I think we beat the Colts twice.
That doesn't get us. I want.
I think
to
we beat
win
the
a
Jaguars
Super Bowl.
twice.
I want to win a Super Bowl. I'm not worried about. 3-1 is great. That's great where we're at right now. But I am saying the bugaboos within the offensive line and the run game, 4 weeks in, are still a problem.
Okay, listen. We are 3-1. The difference between good teams and great teams is no matter what the adversity, you got to find a way to win football games. And
Right.
we've done that to this point.
Yeah.
Okay?
For sure.
That the Texans team from 2020 and 2021, the Davis Mills era, the Brock Osweiler era, I'd even argue the Matt Schaub era, can't do what this team is doing with the amount of penalties we have and still come out and win. I'm not confident in that.
I can agree with that.
So the
I can
fact that we're
agree.
still pulling games out, yes, it's a lot closer than what they should be. But it's not because our guys aren't playing good. It's one set of guys that can't get out of their own way. If we can batten down the hatches and fix that, we still are an elite team that I'd say is the third best in the NFL. Only question marks I have is our secondary. And Kamar Lazarus playing pretty good, but he got burnt a couple times.
He did.
Why? There was a play. Kamar last year, I can't remember who was covering, but they did kind of an over route.
Justin Jefferson.
No, this week.
Oh.
They did, but that I don't even want to get it. I went off on this team last week. I don't want to. That's past. So there's a couple of times where it felt like he wasn't aggressive enough in his ability to get up on a like. I can't remember who he was covering. Who do we played?
Jacksonville.
Christian Kirk. He was guarding, but instead of messing up the timing and just kind of like getting into he would back up and let him get underneath them, and then because the one knock on Lassiter coming out of college was he wasn't very fast. He lacked a lot of speed. There's no reason why Kamari Lassiter should be in a position where he's trailing a player.
Well,
because-
okay, but we knew the
He's a
come on,
rookie.
Well, we knew that coming into the season. We have outside of Kamari Laster, who's going to guard these guys? We have nothing there.
So why didn't we put in more effort into getting our secondary ready? Why is Eric Murray in our secondary right now?
Dude, you can't.
There's an all-pro in Xavier Howard out there
Dude,
in the market.
That's not a viable option, though.
He's an all-pro. What are you talking about? Not a viable option.
I think we're thinking too surface level about this. I think he's a talent. There's talented guys right now that we could go get that would help us, and everybody could go get them. But D'Amico Ryans is trying to find people that are talented and fit with the culture and the locker room.
Okay, fine. Yes, you can wait forever but what our window is in that, like every year. Why are we
overreacting about our window? Our window isn't even. I would say the window is cracked, but we have the ability to bust it open based on how we play. But right now, I'm not anticipating a Super Bowl run this year. We still got problems all over the damn place.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep
depending on how the next month and a half goes. That's going to be able to tell you if we're actually going to be able to do this damn thing.
We're a playoff team this year. We're going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Barring.
All right. So let's. I'm going to try to come back on here tomorrow, but let's end it on this note. Is this Texans team a Super Bowl team this year?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's break it down. Logan, you go first. You said no.
I just think there's so many holes in the offensive line, secondary, running backs, just health as a team. We can't stay healthy.
Okay. So where do you what is the biggest point of concern for you right now?
Secondary.
Yeah. It's funny though
because I feel like because CJ's mobile enough to, if there's pressure, he can move.
He can wheel and deal.
Yeah. Whereas in the defense, if they run by you, there's nothing you can do. They're going to throw it over the top of you and get the 15, 16, 17-yard gain.
Right. Right. And I think outside of Alshire, I think our linebackers, I think we really need.
Toe has been playing a hell of a linebacker.
I know, but I want a linebacker core of Toto, Shire, and Christian Harris. I think that is our best linebacker core.
I agree.
Okay.
We're also still missing a lot of pieces, though.
So Isaac, you said yes that this is a Super Bowl team this year. Why do you think this is a Super Bowl team this year?
I think we've been playing good football outside of the Minnesota game, which was a complete blunder and probably could have been closer had the penalties not been an issue. We're also missing Christian Harris. We're also missing our starting running back and our second string running back. I'm pretty sure Jeff Okuda's out there injured somewhere also.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of guys that could help this team. Jimmy Ward's injured this week or something like that. I think he's not great, but I think D'Amico has some sort of weird love for him, but whatever. There's a lot of guys that we're missing that could be key players or at least added depth. And if we can get out of our own way on the offensive line, there's no reason we can't do, at least offensively, we could be. I mean, we got Stephon, Tank, Nico, Brevin Jordan. Well, he's injured, but the white boy, I forget his name. Schultz. We got Schultz and Stover and Joe Mixon and Damian Pierce and CJ Stroud. That's about as good as it can get in the NFL.
I agree.
Defensively, I think we knew, and I think D'Amico knew going into this, that if we can get our offense that top heavy to where we can score on anybody, I think he has confidence in his ability as a defensive-minded coach to be able to get key stops or a certain amount of stops with the team he's put out there. D'Amico isn't going to go out there with a team that he's not content with.
For sure. I mean, there's a reason that this whole offseason you and Isaac and I had conversations. Logan and I had conversations about the fact that the secondary was a problem. I mean, I would argue that Jimmy Ward is a liability right now. I would say that Jimmy Ward is a liability, and I would say having a rookie safety in Kalen Bullock is a liability.
Well,
So
Kalen Bullock's
out of-
playing really
I've been
good.
impressed with?
No. He's playing good. But that's why I said liability. He has the ability to be good, and he's playing good, but it's still a rookie safety.
You know
It's
who I've
still
been
a
impressed
liability.
with?
Who have you been?
Jalen Petrie.
I've been impressed with Petrie, but I've always been impressed with Petrie in the run game. But as a pass coverage safety, he's still a liability. He's still not great. I saw multiple plays where he was 2-3 steps behind the receiver and they got a first down.
I'll say this: if Jalen Petrie is your biggest problem at the safety position, you're in good. That's good shape. That's a
I
good
agree.
problem to have. That's a good
I
problem.
agree.
To have.
I think there are two things. There are a couple defensively. I think we just need to stay in our rush lanes. I think we're getting too aggressive, too fast.
We need to get more pressure. We have Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter.
In theory, it's that's the
Our
problem.
interior defensive line has been better than our
No.
our ends, our edge rushers.
Okay. In my opinion, I would say our edge rushers are getting upfield just fine, and it looks like they're getting out of their rush lanes. And the fact that our interior defensive tackles can't get any rush lanes or can't get any pressure, it basically makes the center and the guards hold them in the center, and they're talking about 2 lanes, left to right. Where do you want to run?
I guess
Because our defensive ends are getting so far upfield. So it's
we have to get pressure on. Run blocking was always supposed to be our linebackers' problem to deal with. Going in, you can see by the way that the defense was structured. That was always going to be a linebacker issue and not an interior defensive line. The problem was our pass game. We relied so much. That's why we invested in Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, was so that they could help the secondary out. And they're not doing that to the level that we need them to do to bail out our secondary.
Right.
And that's what is going to kill our defense.
Way off topic question. But was it a safety at the end of the game?
Yes. It's 26-20. 26-20.
100%.
26-20.
Just make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, 100%. That was a safety. It's 26-20 for sure.
But we're still 3-1. And
yeah,
we'll leave it off here. We're 3-1. We found ways to win games, and that's what great teams do. And if CJ's not worried and Miko's not worried, Isaac's not worried.
Yeah, we're good. I think obviously defensively we'll get it together. This week against Buffalo, we're gonna get tested a little bit because they got a good quarterback, so he's gonna make throws. Offensively, I think we're gonna have to get the run game going. We're gonna have to get Mixon back. We're gonna have to be able to get the ball into manageable third downs. The 3rd and 18s aren't gonna cut it. We're gonna need to fix that. Obviously that comes at the hands That comes at the hands of the offensive line, and honestly, that lays at the feet of Laramie Tunsil. You know, I mean, if we're talking about 3 penalties a game, he averages 3 penalties. That's 15 to 20 yards a game. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference.
I'd argue it's a coaching issue, but we can get into that later.
Okay. Well, I think Isaac Logan, we might be back. I might be back tomorrow for sure. I'm going to try to get these guys on. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will be back soon. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to find a way to do some film study. I think I'm going to try to find a way to do the Texans or Alabama or Texas, because I know that's kind of our niche. So we're going to try to do that. I'm going to try to get that on YouTube tomorrow. So y'all stick around. Logan, Isaac, I appreciate you guys for being here. It's been a great hour and 40 minutes. We will be back tomorrow or sometime this week. Y'all have a great night. For Isaac and Logan, I'm Ethan. Y'all have a great night, and we will see you guys later.
Adios.
Maybe.
I ain't with that beefing on the net. Tell me what's next. I can't listen to the hype when I know that you've been mixed with lies. Love it like your favorite cocktail.